Central Valley Today, I'm Desiree Lopez. Thank you for joining us. But before we get to that story, losing a loved one is never easy. But now imagine losing someone and not knowing what exactly happened to them. Well, that is the reality for many families whose loved ones decide to cross the desert between Mexico and the U.S. in search for a better life. But there's a group working to help those individuals find some closure. Here to tell us more about this rescue group is volunteer for Armadillos Busqueda y Rescate, Talia Arenas. Talia, welcome. How are you today?
Good. Thank you so much, Desiree, for having me.
No, thank you for being here. Talia, first of all, for those that aren't too familiar with this group, tell us about it.
So Armadillos Search and Rescue is a group that was formed to recover the bodies of people that have lost their lives as they are crossing from Mexico onto the United States. And so they have to go through treacherous area, which would be crossing like the Arizona desert. That's the area that we went to go and search and see if we could recover any people that had been lost out there. So the way that we find out if there's people that would have potentially been left behind or have passed away in that area would be like reports from family members or people that cross with them. They contact the group, they give us like an idea of the coordinates or the area, then we go and try to see if we can recover the person, right? So best case scenario, the person's alive, you know, and then worst case scenario, they're deceased, and what we are basically recovering for the most of the time is going to be the bones or the cadavers of those people. That information then is we have to block off the area, and those coordinates are provided to U.S. authorities, who then they go, send a forensic team, and they can get DNA on the bones or whatever it is that they do. And then from there, that information is given to the consulate in Mexico, okay. So then they can contact the family members and let them know what has happened with their family member.
And Talia, how long does that process take usually?
It could be several weeks, months. So we go do the search, we get the information, give it to authorities. Authorities here have to then contact, you know, Mexico. So it could be a little while before the family can get some sort of notification as to what happened to their family member. And then on top of that, whatever time has already elapsed, right, since their family left. So it could be a long time between the time that somebody finds out of what happened to their family member. And one example, there's like a friend of mine that said that had happened to her uncle, and they didn't find out he was deceased until 5 years later. So they didn't get any type of closure until 5 years after it had happened.
Oh my God. Now, why is it important for you guys to go out there and search for these individuals?
Because it definitely brings closure to the families. Most of the time, you know, they're very hopeful that the person that left the home in search of a better life, that they did make it to their destination. But sometimes that's not the case, because the roads, the place that they're walking through, it's very treacherous, it's difficult, it's very hot. At least in the place that we went to search, the weather was intense. And this was in January, and it was already in the 70s. And walking through like rocky roads and desert dangers, it's very difficult. So we did this just for 9 hours. I can't even imagine, you know, how much more difficult it could be for a person that has to go through this road for 10 to 14 days. It takes a long time to get to where they're actually gonna get to their destination. And throughout their journey, there's a lot of things that they can experience, right? So they can be attacked by an animal. They can, you know, the inclements of the weather, getting extremely hot, that's very hard to manage, and then they'll run out of food and water. So we did find a lot of things out there that people had left behind, such as backpacks, shoes, there was clothes, different types of articles that told us that there was people that had been crossing. And in two of the cases, we did find identification, and we did find bones as to people that did stay behind. So we had gotten this information ahead of time. We went out and searched, and we did recover 2 bodies.
Now, how can families reach you if they're trying to look for a loved one?
So they can go on the Facebook page of Armadillos Busqueda y Rescate, or Search and Rescue Armadillos, and then through that site you'll get in contact with the organizer, who's from Southern California, and then he'll gather the members, he'll pick a date, and then we all go. It's once a month, and then we go and then do the search and see if we can find anybody.
And then for those that want to donate, how could they do that?
Yes, so again, go contact the website or the page. It's a Facebook page, and we're always in need of different things or supplies, such as like things to dig. We're gonna need like water and just things to keep us safe as we're going and doing the rescue mission.
Exactly. Now we're going to talk about some of the items we have here on the table. This is what you take with you when you travel, right?
Yes, that's correct. So we, of course, have to travel lightly because it does get very difficult carrying a lot of items. For sure, we need to have water for ourselves, sufficient water that we can carry. So a light backpack that comes with the water pouch, and then extra water bottles. Maybe like a light snack for our break so we can just remain again with some energy and hydrated. We have our search gloves or work gloves in case we're going to be touching anything that's that we need to keep ourselves safe from. And there's lots of cacti, and so lots of things that can be very dangerous if they get on your clothes. We have a nice bright shirt that helps identify each other from a long distance. And then we have our work boots. So these are going to be hiking boots that are going to help us be able to travel through the rocks, because it definitely is going to hurt your feet. You know, no matter what kind of shoes you wear, it's a long walk. And then, of course, a medical kit, because we might get hurt as we're out there. So we're going to need to be able to keep each other safe. So everybody carries something that helps us out. So some people help carry the food, other people the water, the medical kit, all those kinds of things. And then together as a group, we do this search. So on this particular search, there was 15 people that went, and 7 of us were from the Fresno area.
Now, I'm glad you mentioned that. How could people volunteer?
Definitely. So again, go through the Facebook page and you'll be able to sign up as a volunteer. These searches are monthly, and then so we'll let you know if you go on there when the next one will be. And definitely we're going to need more volunteers, because the more paravise that we have, the better. We can break up in 2, 3, 4 groups, and everybody can go and search in different areas. So on this particular search, we broke up in 2, and my group, we went to go through the riverbeds, and then the other half went to go look for a particular sighting of where they had believed that there was a body left behind. So they took care of that, and then we went to search another area.
Wow, what you guys do is just so interesting and amazing, honestly, Talia, and thank you for that. I really appreciate you being here today. Thank you.
Well, thank you for opening up the opportunity to share more about the group.
Thank you.